Hi, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photography talks. So today I want to talk about a young couple who I met. They're in their 20s. They just recently got married. And she had a Minolta film camera. And I wasn't interested in buying it, but I said, maybe you should keep that. And she said, I love the look of film, but I've never photographed anything with film. And she got the camera somewhere and she was just going to try to sell it. And I said, maybe you should keep it. It doesn't have a whole lot of value, but it could have a lot of value to you if you use it. And I explained to her, I said, you could go to the local camera store in Boulder, it's Mike's Camera, and you could buy one roll of black and white film. And if you shoot one frame a month for 36 months, 36 exposure roll, it'll last 3 years. And at the end of 3 years, you'll have a little surprise waiting for you. And this is the biggest reason I can suggest to shoot film. Because film is not immediate, and film creates a surprise. Digital doesn't do it. The reason that people who are phone snappy don't get anything out of photography, I think, is because they go shoot, 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 look, 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 everybody's seen it, we're all done. When you make photographs, and whether you develop your negatives and you make prints, and you see the picture come up out of the chemical, or you leave the film in the camera for 3 months and at the end you run it to the camera store and you come back with a pack of prints, or you get negatives and you scan them, whatever you do, there is an element of time that makes photography amazing. Photography is special when it has the ability to let us go back in time. And digital doesn't do that. Phone snappy means I shoot it and we all see it. It's all over. We got done before we even hardly started. We shoot things that we don't even look at again. We're photographing receipts while we're photographing our lives, and all of it is kind of in a big tornado of the same glut of images that we don't care about. But when you shoot with that film camera, and I told her, if you shoot with that film camera, you'll have something at the end of 3 years, or sooner if you shoot more, that you can look forward to. Because no matter what, you'll forget what's on that roll. You'll forget what you shot. And when you get them processed, that's when you get to go back and relive those moments. And modern photography, digital photography, doesn't have any reliving of anything because you experience it as soon as you complete it. And so there's no future surprise. There's no, oh, I wonder what that'll turn out like. Oh, I forgot that that person was there. No, you saw it all. It's all very much immediate and it has no magic. So I explained that to them. And I said, you know, prints, you can make prints, you can put them up on your home walls, you could make them a part of your world. And they said, well, we just got married just last year, and we have exactly 3 photographs from our wedding. The photographer gave us a hard drive full of photographs, plus 3 prints. And we'll never do anything with that hard drive. We have all the pictures because that's the way they delivered them, and we said we wanted them, but we don't know what to do with it. We don't want to go make up. We just don't do anything with it. We go to our parents and our grandparents' houses and they have photo albums on the shelf or on the coffee table, and we look through those and it's such a treat. And we wish we had that. But we don't. We have that hard drive. And they said, we're not sure what that's worth. We're not sure why we did that. And I said, you know, it's like the difference between reading a book and getting a book on an e-reader. You can read on a Kindle. You can read on one of the an iPad. But it's not the same thing as reading a book. And there's a reason why people still want books in an era where there are e-readers. And it's because we want to hold something. And the same thing with sitting on a couch, talking to your friend, talking to your family member, and then just flipping the pages and seeing them while you're doing something else. There's no electronic screen. There's no computer involved. There's no electricity. They're just photographs. And they said that they wish they had them. And I said, I can help you because I work with people. I make prints for people. In fact, if you're one of those people with a wedding album and you need help with that, I have a website called familyphotoalbums.net. And it's a .net, 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 not a .com, a .net. But familyphotoalbums.net, and I do that. I print up photos for people. And I restore old photos. And I make copies for the other family members. If they have one picture of their grandpa and there's 6 siblings, we can make up 6 copies of that and save the original somewhere safe. But nobody's doing it. They've got this glut of images in their phone. I always talk about the millions of people who lost their family photos today. Are you one of them? You might be if you're putting all your stuff on a hard drive and you haven't checked it lately, because if it doesn't boot up anymore, they're gone. You might be if you lost your phone and it had 1,000 photographs on there and you never backed them up. It might be if your backup is not working because you didn't pay your subscription fees. I have a brother who talks about how he does triple backups with multiple off-site hard drives in different locations. And it's like, just print the photograph and stick it under your bed. You'll be fine. To me, it's like there's an unwillingness to not have technology save us. And technology isn't saving us. But I have prints on my walls all around me. I have prints on my shelves. I live with my photographs. And there's nothing to say that internet and sharing photos online isn't an okay thing. It's fine. But it's not photography where you actually get to live with your photographs and share photo albums. And here's my photo album from this trip to Europe. Here's my photo album from my wedding. Because nobody's making them. But they can. You can. You can run your photos to a local camera store. You can run them to Costco. They cost hardly anything. And you end up with photographs that are real. And you can put them in a box, put them under your bed, and you don't have to worry about anything happening to them electronically. Yeah, they can be in a fire, they can be in a flood, but so can your computer. And the point is, in any disaster, you can lose everything. But the point is, most people don't have fires and floods, and electronics fail, and we can save them, but we have to save them. It's vitally important that we print our family photos and we save those photographs. They're probably the only ones that our great-great-grandchildren will ever see, is the ones that you print, the ones that I print, because they're the only ones that will make it. The rest will be lost in overdone quantities of photographs that were never made into actual prints because they were potential photographs. They were pixelgraphs. They were screen graphs. They were something other than photographs because nobody ever made a photograph out of them. And to me, my definition of a photograph is something I can hold in my hand, put in a frame, put on the wall, at my home, at the gallery, at the museum. Not something that is ones and zeros on a file in some hard drive that I can't find anymore, or an old computer that doesn't boot up anymore. Yeah, it's in there somewhere. Can't get to it, but it's in there, I guess. Nobody I know sits around the computer looking at family photographs. So print your photographs. It's vitally important. All right, that says Photography Talk. If you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. And thanks so much for watching. I look forward to talking photography again with you tomorrow, or next week. Tomorrow at my podcast, dailyphotographyblog.com. All right, hit the subscribe if you can. Hit the Patreon if you can. Here's to a great week of shooting, and here's to good light.